This has been a long journey for Dick Grayson, Harper Row, and Cassandra Cain. It all started at the beginning, when Dick Grayson first became Robin. He was sent on a mission with Batman to stop Scarecrow, and they discovered something much larger was happening. Batman kept Robin in the dark while he tried to discover this villain, Mother's, purpose. She was creating people, brainwashing them and turning them into child soldiers or wives or whatever you could want for the right price. But since she worked in the dark, Batman was forced to trick her into trusting him, and he played her game to catch her. While he did stop Mother, she managed to do one more thing before she was caught. She sent Cassandra Cain to kill the parents of Harper Row in an attempt to turn Harper Row into the new Robin for Batman that he was supposedly looking for. Tears began to well up in Harper's eyes as she was holding her mother, and this leaves Batman with a choice. Does he take in Harper and her brother Cullen, possibly turning them into soldiers in his war on Gotham? Or does he give them a chance at happiness by sending them back to their father? He isn't happy with anything that has happened in this adventure, and he wants more answers. So he tells Dick Grayson that he needs to tie up some loose ends, and he's going to leave Dick in charge of watching Gotham while he's gone. Dick is a little shocked. Is this how Batman takes a vacation? You're gonna trust me to watch over the city while you're gone? And Batman tells him, well, Superman's doing flybys every hour. So he goes to Eastern Europe, where he gets a car and he drives up into the mountains. He arrives at a mansion and he's welcomed by a woman in charge of the site, Miss Marchenko. She's smiling and happy to have the celebrity Bruce Wayne under her roof. She explains that this is a place of serenity, a place to gather his peace of mind. And he informs her that that's exactly what he was looking for. He explains that he was scouring the countryside looking for answers to questions that he's had for the last week, and he believes that she has the answers that he needs. Her eyes grow sad, and she looks down, before asking him to just outright ask what he's looking for. I want a story from 15 years ago. A story of a woman covered in scars. And Miss Marchenko asks, how did you find me? I can't tell you this story. Bruce tells her not to worry. Mother is gone and she can't hurt anyone anymore. So Miss Marchenko starts her story of a city at war with the Red Army invading it. On the streets of this city, there is a poor girl whose parents had debts with every business in town, and she was the payment. She was passed around the town and she ended up in a tavern where she saw the city was on the edge of madness. And with one little push, she helped it over the edge. One of the commanders bit into a piece of chicken and he began to gasp and he reached out. The soldiers all claimed that he was poisoned. The tavern thought that he had choked, and only one girl knew the truth. But honestly, it didn't matter. The soldiers opened fire on the citizens in the city. She ran for her freedom with the sounds of guns going off behind her, stepping over bodies and running through blood. But eventually she made it back to her parents to find that rifles were pointed at them, and they mouthed the words to her, run. She stood there and watched them die. Something inside her broke that day. Watching the bullets tear apart the bodies of her parents did something, and she knew her life was over. She lay on the bodies, hoping the soldiers would ignore her, getting ready for her escape. But to check if they were actually dead, she was stabbed 7 times. She didn't even flinch. She stood up and sneaked into their camp that night, murdering all of the guards in their sleep before she started her life anew. She then came to this building, Miss Marchenko told him, where she met this girl, and the girl met her parents. That night, this mystery girl killed Marchenko's parents and told her that she was her mother now. Bruce thanks Miss Marchenko for her story and tells her not to worry. Mother is gone now. No more parents will die at her hand. Then he walked out of the building and he got back into his car. And Miss Marchenko stated, make it quick, Mother. Mother stepped out of the shadows and killed Miss Marchenko. She wasn't actually dead. Bruce went back home with his decision made. He would leave Harper and Cullen with their coward of a father, but he would ensure that Harper's father took care of her and had a job. He then went back to the Batcave and he decided that he needed to get rid of this whole case. His failure. So he purged the computer of every record that he had on Mother. This is why there is no trace of Mother in her activity in the present day for Grayson to find when she came back onto the scene. And since Bruce Wayne has amnesia during the period that this story is taking place, he can't fill Grayson in about this. Mother has resurfaced and started a new plan, one that would infect the entire world with her methods of making assassins, giving her enough soldiers to take over whatever she wants. And it was up to Dick Grayson, Harper Row, Cassandra Cain, Tim Drake, and Jason Todd to stop her. And even Damian Wayne just showed up. But they just lost another fight to Mother, and she gained access to the satellite that would ensure that her plan would happen. She also kidnapped Harper and Cassandra Cain. With Orphan, Poppy, Harper, and Cassandra on their way back to Mother's base, Grayson can't help but wonder, what's the plan now? Grayson runs his hand through his hair, telling everyone, Batman lost to Mother before. Maybe this is it. Maybe we lost. And Damian smacks Grayson over the face. Shut up! We have not lost so long as we can scrape together. Jason steps in. Batman failed, kid. We inherited his failure, the impossible. Don't you dare invoke my father's name as a reason to quit, Jason. This can't possibly be the end. There are resources, plans, actions that we can take. So he decides to tell them a story, where Batman explained to him the purpose of each Robin. It was to have people surpass him. Dick was a clearer vision of what what Batman was supposed to be. Jason was the one willing to do what Batman couldn't. Tim has the strategic sense to make even Bruce envious. He wanted them all to decide for themselves what they are. They aren't just mini Batmans. Damian leaves it with, if Mother was left to them, it's because Batman believed that we could beat Mother. Jason turns to the group. I'd feel guilty if I didn't even try to save the world after that. Back in Mother's base, Orphan walks in with his two prisoners, Harper and Cassandra. Mother thanks him for his loyalty, but informs him that his purpose is done, and she coldly slits his throat, throwing him away. Then she walked to Cassandra to tell her, it's okay, he's free of his need for Mother now. Then she welcomes what she learned from David, how to make more orphans, and she welcomes them to the girls. She lets both Harper and Cassandra know that she wants them to survive this. She wants to bring them into the family. She wants to be their mother. And she presses the button to welcome the new world, a world that Mother owns, and the entire world has people converting to followers of Mother. And next week, we'll be finally resolving a storyline. Hope you guys have enjoyed it up to this point. I hope you enjoyed this origin of who Mother is, and I hope you're ready for this story to end. Don't forget, if you want more comic books, check out our gaming channel where we bring you gaming comic books every Friday, Eligible Monster, and our manga channel, Comicstorian, where we bring you manga every Monday and Friday. Hope to see you guys over there. Both links are down below, and I'll see you next time right here.